In my world and in my family, that's where I'm really focused, because I want to make sure that we don't go back into scarcity and think that hard work is all it takes. Hard work isn't all that it takes. Hard work and bad financial philosophy equals bankruptcy. It equals financial slavery. It's destructive. It destroys relationships. I watched it within my own family. I want my kids to understand they can pursue their greatest abilities and they can make mistakes as part of the learning process, and that they can go out there, and if they choose to create a business or they choose to work for someone else, as long as they understand the rules of wealth and how money works, and that they got to embrace a life that they love and live their sole purpose, that's my work. When I was a teenager, I went to a thing called Governor's Honors Academy. It was for the top 50 students in the state of Utah. I was 51 apparently, but thank someone dropped out, so I got in, you know. And it changed my world. I met scientists. This was like 26, 27 years ago. They were talking about 3D printing. It was blowing my mind. I met Ren Zafiropoulos, who invented Xerox. I met Jake Garn, who went into space as an astronaut and a senator. Like, I came back a changed person. I saw possibility. I saw hope. And I was growing up in East Carbon, Utah. That's the place where dreams go to die, my friends. Here's what happens there. We went and filmed there in December. This is how we were welcomed by 2 kids. Like the sprinkler of fingers, right? I'm like, what the? And then I find out, like, when I lived there, I think it was at its peak 5,000 people and 2 cops. It's now down to 1,000 people and 5 cops. Wrong direction, right? Not a good place to be. So Governor's Honors Academy changed my life. Like, it gave me hope. And so my hope is, like, I'm never going to reach 1 million people, just me showing up and speaking and making the difference. The difference is I get people like Mike who inspires other people. I get people like Tom who inspires other people, or whoever else is here in the room. That if you can actually do it, you're the amplifier. You're the influencer. I don't care whether I get the credit or not. I care whether it actually happens or not, right? And I feel like in my world and in my family, that's where I'm really focused, because I want to make sure that we don't go back into scarcity and think that hard work is all it takes. Hard work isn't all that it takes. Hard work and bad financial philosophy equals bankruptcy. It equals financial slavery. It's destructive. It destroys relationships. I watched it within my own family. I want my kids to understand they can pursue their greatest abilities and they can make mistakes as part of the learning process, and that they can go out there, and if they choose to create a business or they choose to work for someone else, as long as they understand the rules of wealth and how money works, and that they got to embrace a life that they love and live their sole purpose, that's my work. I'm going to do it within my family and within the family that chooses to hire us too. My kids just don't pay me anything, right? They do give me kisses and hugs most of the time, you know, or wake me up at 4 in the morning other times. It's good that they're cute, you know? I love them most of the time, a good 95, 96% of the time. And then 4 or 5% of the time, I'm really confused why we had them. I just remember it was fun to make them, you know? So economic independence is this game changer that if you can achieve it, it's not a 30-year proposition. It's a 3 to 7 year. 7 year, if you're like me, you're not going to give up a single luxury in life. 3 years, you're already on a good track. You know, you're already, like when I meet Tom, he's already got everything in really good order. I had to work extra hard to be like, God, I need to give him some value for the money and investment that he paid, you know, because he was really pretty dialed in, had done a lot of work before he ever met me. And so when I look at that situation, it's like 3 to 7 years is completely attainable and possible, but I have to teach you the methodology. Here's the quick version. Number 1, we already talked about. Keep more of what you make. Don't go invest a single dollar or a cent until you've figured out how to be more efficient. Keep those dollars without cutting back or sacrificing. Number 2, strategically engineer wealth. What does that mean? It means find out that economic independence number and reverse engineer what it's going to take to get there in 3 categories. Number 1, your foundation. Your foundation is making sure you have the right car insurance, homeowner insurance, liability, disability, life insurance, business owner policies. So you're transferring risk. It's working together so it's efficient. You're not overspending your money. That you got the right credit score. You got the right cash flow reporting. You know, you've got your basic financial structure and team, because if you don't, things are going to slip through the cracks. I mean, I'm pretty sure that everyone knows 100% that when you are a business owner, you got to have an amazing team. That if you don't have an amazing team, life sucks and you don't do as good at business. Here's an epiphany for some of you. It works the exact same with finance, right? When sometimes we go, oh, I have a really good financial advisor. I'm like, great. No financial advisor can be an expert in everything. They might be good at serving one area, but what's your team? Like, part of winning than playing is you pick the right team. Like, we pretty much knew when Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, John Stockton, like all this team went, and it was the dream team in like '96, we knew who was going to win. It was just a matter of how much. How much were we going to win by? That was win then play. Why not have all-stars on your team? The Rockefellers did. The Rockefellers, a-holes as many of them are, they had a good team, and they're on their 6th generation of wealth. The Vanderbilts, on the other hand, didn't have a good financial team, and they squandered the largest fortune in history. As a matter of fact, they had more money than the U.S. Treasury. They were so rich that they had money all over the world because that's how much money they had. And guess how much they have now? None. I mean, yeah, there's Vanderbilt University, not owned by the Vanderbilts. There's the Breakers in Rhode Island, not owned by the Vanderbilts. The Biltmore in South Carolina, North Carolina, one of the Carolinas, not owned by the Vanderbilts. 10 Mansions in Manhattan, gone, owned by the Vanderbilts at one time. They got really good at spending money, not good at actually providing value. Part of it was not having a good financial team, not having everybody on the same page. So the second piece to this of a strategically engineering wealth, the first is the foundational piece. The second is sustainability and safety measures. Building up enough liquidity, having estate plans, having asset protection, you know, those types of things, because we're all in store for financial surprises. It's just that we can prepare for 90+% of them if we actually take the time and actually get it done. The third part is growth. It's discovering your investor DNA, only investing in things that you know, and not investing in anything else. Focus instead of diversify. So number one, recover more cash. Keep more of what you make. Number two, strategically engineer wealth. Find out your target, reverse engineer, build the plan. It might be paying off loans, might be turning on cash flow with the existing investments, which takes me to part number three. Part number three is accelerate investment income. Look at all of your existing assets, and if they're not creating cash flow, they're slowing you down. Don't get trapped in that accumulation where you got wealth being a function of how much money you put in, how much risk you're willing to take, and number three, how long you're willing to wait. I just think Heinz doesn't have it right when they're like, the best things come to those who wait. Are you shitting me? Things get lost for those who wait, you know? Like, sometimes you gotta capitalize. And I think it's crazy when the market doesn't go well, you're gonna start seeing articles when it starts going south of, well, if you wanna retire, maybe move to Ecuador. Yeah, sure, if you like dysentery and you don't care if your family's around, that's a great idea. It's really cheap to live there. Plus, when you have diarrhea all the time, you don't need to eat, you know, you're not hungry. Like, this is not good advice. It's going to that accumulation model. Wealth equals money times rate times time. No, it doesn't. Money is a function of value creation. Money is a function of the type of mental capital you have, which is your knowledge, ideas, wisdom, tools, strategies, information, multiplied by your relationships. People, networks, mentors, you know, family, friends, and the bridge between them is business. That's what business is. It just bridges mental capital and relationship capital so you can serve, solve problems, and deliver value, and as a byproduct, money. So when people think that they have a money problem, it's never a money problem. Number one, if you can write a check, not a money problem. Number two, it's an idea or people problem. You're one idea or one relationship away from solving it, if you know how to tap into that. That's win then play. Win then play is we leverage mental capital, not financial capital. Financial capital leverage can be really risky. So this third piece of creating economic independence is accelerating investment income, turning on the cash flow tap instead of accumulating, keeping money in motion. The fourth thing is a game changer. It's to scale business revenue. Scaling to me is if we were trying to climb this hotel, we'd put a ladder up against it. The way that some people try to scale is they try to leap up the building like they think they're Spider-Man and they're gonna get to the top. The reality is they're gonna fall and crash. The better way to scale is you let go of one thing and then you grab the next, which means delegation instead of relegation. Relegation is you just tell someone to get something done, they have no clue what you're talking about, and then you expect them to do it just like you would have done. Delegation is not giving someone a task, but having them own a role. R-O-L-E. They own that role just like it was their business, and you support it when they ask rather than micromanage them. That is a game changer. And then you start saying, just like there was the lifeboat today, there's the lifeboat of your activities. If you could only do 5 activities and nothing else, what would those 5 activities be? Delegate everything else, but you take your time to get there. Let go of one thing, grab the next. Let go of the next thing, grab the next. That's proper scale. And your business will probably get you to economic independence faster than all other components combined. Now, the 5th one is my favorite, though. Because the 5th one takes into consideration that you're your greatest asset. Not a stock or a bond or a piece of real estate, it's you. And the last piece is to make it count. The last piece is to live your legacy, not just leave one. The last piece is to define success, to create a game that's worth winning, and make sure the juice is worth the squeeze, and you live into that. It's the make it count segment, right? Benjamin Franklin said, wealth is not the man that has it, but the man that lives it. So when you treat yourself as your greatest asset, you take care of yourself, then all of a sudden you have more to give. So that make it count for me was saying, okay, we're going to spend 2 months in Italy. We're going to get, and the way we won and played in that is I booked the flights, getting there and then not coming back for 2 months. We booked the villa, so I had to operate differently in my business. I had 18 months. We got really serious about what I was doing and not doing, and guess what? Everyone on my team got to mature. It's kind of like the helicopter parent. If you're always around, you're the helicopter parent of your business. And you are the lowest paid person in that business a lot of the time because you'll solve the problems, because you love it, you care about it, you care about the people that you take care of. I've yet to meet the chiropractors like, I became a chiropractor because I want to be rich as shit. No, you guys were like, I want to help people and heal them. I'm the one that comes in and is like, I'm going to help you guys be rich as shit, right? Because like, my son is so severely disappointed that I'm not a doctor. You know, he's always like, Dad, like when we're like, hey, we're going to the chiropractor, he's like, why aren't you a chiropractor? I'm like, I help chiropractors, buddy. He's like, I know, but it'd be really nice if you were one. I'm like, buddy, someone's got to help these guys with their finances. They're pretty effed up in their finances, and, you know. And every time he's disappointed, I'm like, you're just going to have to settle for a multi-millionaire father. I mean, what can I say, you know? My favorite is when my kids made the mistake once of asking if they were rich. Dad, are we rich? I'm like, oh, well, I'm rich. I don't know about you yet. You got like $1,000. It's really yet to be determined. So make it count. Recover cash. Strategically engineer wealth. Find that economic independence. Accelerate investment income. Find those resources to turn into cash flow. Scale your business. Invest there first. Don't invest in other people's dreams before you've funded your own. Then make it count. That's how you get economic independence. At economic independence, you've already won the game. What do you want to do to play? What's your vision? How do you want to swing for the fences? Like when that's not an impediment, but it's an asset, it's a game changer. And like, here's the huge advantage. Most people in this world are thinking, I need to save 10% of my income and earn 10% on that in a place they don't even control the 10% earnings. I'm teaching you, what if you could take 100% of your freaking income and invest 100% of that income? Because, you're already economic independent. Your active income isn't required for your lifestyle. It's really good, I'm telling you. That's how I got to go to Italy. Like, I'm not here to save you a few bucks. That'll be great, we'll do it. I'm not here to make sure that a little broken piece in your finances get handled. I'm here for a complete transformation and shift of your financial life that leads to a legacy that lasts. That could be generations, that your great-great-grandkids know who you are, what you stand for, and that you contributed to their life, not just with the money that you leave behind, but the non-monetary assets like your philosophies, like your values, like game-changing stuff.
Want to master your money? Want to figure out the things that you could do to improve your finances? Click here and check out more videos like this on Money Matters.